Terrance Cauthen won an Olympic bronze medal this summer. He gets to make his professional debut on a boxing card like this in the first fight. Pretty exciting for a young fighter, huh, George?
Now, I think so. The whole world is going to see him. You start on top, but if you lose, the whole world will see you, so you only can go down. So he's better be on the best of condition.
Well, there is young Terrance Cauthen, who comes from Trenton, New Jersey by way of Philadelphia and the Joe Frazier Gym in Philadelphia. You see his amateur record: 150 wins, 9 losses, no draws, 45 KOs. That was Terrance Cauthen's record in the amateur ranks. Now he gets ready to make his professional debut, and we remind you, as we will all through the evening, when you see the records of the fighters tonight, they're being brought to you by The Ring, the Bible of boxing. It is likewise the professional debut for 30-year-old Victor Miller, who is cast in the role of the hapless opponent here. Let's see if he cooperates with the opportunity for young Cauthen. And you can see that the amateur record for Victor Miller wasn't all that bad: 184 wins and only 16 losses. Victor Miller shadow boxing in his corner of the ring. Terrance Cauthen over on the far side. And we look at the tail of the tape for this professional Cauthen debut. They weigh in at the lightweight level, about 105. Cauthen 3/4 of a pound over the limit, a 1.5-inch reach advantage for Miller. All eyes on young Cauthen here to see what kind of a prospect he's going to be. Rules of this first bout, and they are the rules for every fight you'll see this evening, with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Terrance Cauthen-Victor Miller fight is scheduled for 4 rounds. The standing 8 count is in effect. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 4th and final round. Jim.
All right, now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer to start the evening off from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an evening of world-class professional boxing, brought to you by Main Events and Caesars Atlantic City, in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Stephen Katz and Gary Shaw, Deputy Commissioner John Greco, Chief Inspector is Sylvester Kyler, the Chief Physician at ringside, Dr. Charles Wilson, attending ringside physicians Dr. Eric Wernzer, Dr. Earl Shaw, and Dr. Richard Snepper. The timekeepers will be Errol Curry and Roosevelt Gilbert. The 3 judges for this first contest will be Melvina Latham, Joseph Pasquale, and Barbara Perez. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Earl Morton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a special 4-round bout in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing blue trunks and weighs in at 135 pounds. He comes to us from the Bronx in New York City. Let's welcome, making his professional debut, Victor Genuine Miller. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, trimmed with red letters. Also making his professional debut, he fights out of Smoke and Joe Frazier's Gym in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighs 135 3/4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from the U.S. Olympic team, a 1996 Olympic bronze medalist, making his pro debut, Terrance "The Heat" Cauthen.
Steve, you both received your instructions earlier. I expect you to obey my commands, touch gloves, and good luck, fellas.
A pretty good heavyweight. Joe Frazier is in Cauthen's corner. His son, Marvis Frazier, also a heavyweight, trains and manages Cauthen.
Box.
Cauthen couldn't quite find his way through the forest of Olympic scoring to that gold medal. Hopes to achieve gold in his professional career. At only 20, Terrance already has 2 children and a 3rd on the way, and he's quite realistic about his professional career. He says, I got to do my best to put bread on the table for my kids. scheduled for. Terrance Cauthen, the southpaw, content mostly so far to let Victor Miller lead and counter, but there Cauthen steps in behind a jab and pounds to the body a little bit.
Well, you think about Terrance Cauthen coming from Joe Frazier's camp. He may be a southpaw, you got to slip. He may be a southpaw, but Joe Frazier would not be any trouble trying to coach a left-hander, because in Philadelphia, they love to throw left hooks anyway.
The left is the power punching hand in that Philadelphia tradition. Joe Frazier, of course, couldn't get that left hook on you quite enough, George, but he did a lot of damage to a lot of other heavyweights.
Y'all watch those feet.
Victor Miller seems to be steady, doesn't back up. Probably what you don't want to fight a Philadelphia fighter, a guy coming out of Philadelphia, you don't want to walk to him. They love that.
Miller was the two-time New York State Golden Gloves champion and national finalist a couple times in his amateur career, 89 and 90. I'm told he won the New York State Golden Gloves. Awfully late to start a pro career at age 30, but whatever obstacles might have stopped him along the way, he surely comes in with high hopes tonight. And a chance to get a lot of attention if he can spring an upset against Terrance Cauthen in his pro debut. Miller missing wildly with the right, and Cauthen shows an ability to counter accurately inside.
And he moves out of the way, so there's some boxing coach in that camp also. This guy's doing a good job of boxing. Hit and move out of the way. Cauthen is.
Marvis wasn't a bad boxer himself, got rushed along a little bit in his professional career and probably had a date with Larry Holmes too early, a date with Mike Tyson at the wrong time in his career. But Marvis knew a thing or two about boxing.
That's probably the coach input. Frazier sure did like to slug it out.
Relatively uneventful round one of Terrance Cauthen's professional debut. First of 5 fights tonight on this TVKO live card.
He's doing beautiful. He ain't got nothing. Double jab. Just throwing one jab. Right? All you do is throw the double jab, and everything is set up right from there. Right? This guy's trying to find you.
Okay, and I want you to bob after you throw the hook, okay? But you're doing beautiful out there, baby. You gotta take it to him, okay? Keep shooting that 1-2, the right hand, and once he's in front of you, when he's going like this, blah, 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 shoot.
That's a deep breath, deep breath. How you feel? Good. All right? Slow. All right. Double jab? No problem. Double jab, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? And you step around more.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right? Just all we gotta do is...
Here's your Philadelphia left hook coming. Right there. Not much power in it. An arm punch. I thought that Cauthen showed a lot of good quickness, reflexes, but still a lot of amateur that he has to work out of his system.
First round of punch count numbers as our punch stat guys from CompuBox warmed themselves up for the evening. Terrance Cauthen landing 25 punches in the first round to only 3 for Victor Miller. And you'll be seeing Harold Letterman's scores for each round at the bottom of the screen as the evening goes on. From time to time, we'll summarize Harold's scorecard for you.
Come on, Steve. All right. Stop punching. Let him out. Come on, man.
Hard right hand to the chest by Victor Miller.
And he may benefit by that more than you think. When you're fighting a fast guy, you've got to find ways to make him slow down.
Okay, hold it.
The best way to do it is hit him around the chest.
Okay.
George Foreman, always a huge fan of body blows, and he loves those blows to the lung area that suck the wind out of the opposition.
Stop punching. Let his hand go. Let his hand go. Come on. Come on, let his hand go. Okay.
Cauthen with some fierce infighting there. Earl Morton gets him to back away without having to lay his hands on him and pull him off.
Break. Let him go. Come on. Let him. All right, let's go.
Sometimes when you're training a young fighter like this Terrance Cauthen, they do so well in the gym sometimes they do funny things out in the fight. You don't know what to tell them because you know they have it, but why won't he just do what he's been doing in the gym?
Are you suggesting, George, that this is not a good venue for a young fighter to make his debut in, with all of these folks here, with all of the hoopla around it?
No, I would say not. You want him to get off on his own. Man, he's doing pretty good, but a lot of the amateurism is showing up, like Jim said earlier.
But he's starting to open up more here in round 2, and now he's got Victor Miller totally on the defensive, as you saw Miller covering up, unable to throw punches as Cauthen fired combinations. So just within the past 20 seconds, Cauthen's begun to become a lot more self-assertive in there. There's a good combination, right and the left. And now Earl Morton watches carefully as Miller backs up along the ropes, manages to fire a shot back. So he's still defending himself.
Miller is having a hard time finding this guy. I would hit him if I could only see him.
Well, when your manager lines you up in your pro debut to face a southpaw, you got to ask him, what are you thinking of me?
Not only a southpaw, but a fast southpaw.
An Olympic bronze medal southpaw.
Let's not ourselves, guys. We all know why Miller is here.
Póngale hielo en la esquina. Hielo en la esquina, en la cabeza, okay? Don't go there. The only thing, you're not relaxing out there, okay? You're not relaxing, and you're standing in front of him to get hit, okay? I don't want you standing in front of him to get hit, okay? There's no reason for you to stand there. I want you to start jabbing, okay? Start jabbing and start moving side to side. Don't stand in front of him. Stop. I told you, don't start chasing him. Doing that, that's not.
You can see the kind of potential that Cauthen has with his fast hands, but none of those punches is thrown with mean intentions, or at least with professionally mean intentions.
All right, seconds out.
They're somewhere between a slap and a good professional
punch.
punch.
Take it easy, babe. Back up.
Well, he's got a habit of arm punching without his body behind it. And the way they score amateur boxing now, it's so easy to fall into that habit.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for Joe Frazier and that group to get him to settle down and turn him over. And once he does, you're going to see some power.
Harold Letterman, how do you have this after 2 rounds?
Well, Larry, 20-18, 2 rounds to nothing. Terrance Cauthen, not a tough fight to score. The only thing tough about it was, should Terrance Cauthen have gotten a 10-8 round in the second round because he won it so decisively. Victor Miller's left eyes close it up, and Terrance Cauthen got a heck of a right hand for southpaw. There was that vicious right hook.
Round 3 of a scheduled 4. Couple of lightweights. Professional debut of Terrance Cauthen, originally from Trenton, now out of Philadelphia in Joe Frazier's gym, wearing the white trunks in the ring against Victor Miller.
Though Terrance Cauthen has landed a harder shot, done most of the damage, he's still the most cautious. It tells you about this guy. He's in and out really a boxer. A genuine boxer, no one's going to change that nature.
Well, maybe it's a good combination. A natural, genuine boxer in the Frazier gym where he might pick up some aggression and some power punching technique.
Yeah, that's going to be a real good thing to watch as the future unfolds itself. Will he put all of that together? He will not be babied in the Joe Frazier's gym. He didn't even baby his son.
No, he was tough on Marvis. Demanded a lot of it. Marvis wanted very much to please his dad.
He's on the head.
Hard right hand as Miller was backing away.
And that's where Miller's having all the problems. Even when he back away thinking I'm out of range, he gets slapped with a punch anyway.
rounds down in the pro debut of Terrance Cauthen. Meanwhile, still to come tonight, relatively celebrated recent defector from Cuba, Joel Casamayor, chasing dollars here in the United States instead of further amateur gold for Cuba. And Casamayor will be taking on a fighter named Roberto Sierra in what is an early showcase in his developing professional career. Fighting at 135 pounds tonight, looking ultimately to move down 9 pounds all the way to the talent-loaded featherweight division, 126.
Let's go to work.
All right, let's go ahead to work.
Get in.
All right, you understand what I said? All right, so what are we going to do when we get out there?
Go to work.
All right.
You got to go out there and you got to throw the right hand. Don't keep boxing, but throw the right hand, okay, baby? All right. Throw the right hand, okay, baby? Throw the right hand.
We're going to touch gloves. Come on.
Last of 4 scheduled rounds now between Terrance Cauthen in the white and Victor Miller in the blue.
Victor Miller is going to have to take a chance now. You just can't hold it back all night. You're going to have to go for a knockout.
Well, he's got a shot at counterpunching as long as Cauthen will lead with the jab, because Cauthen has a habit of leaving the jab out there and not pulling it back in a hurry.
He's so quick that if you lean back an inch, he seems to detect it with his eyes and he hits you. If you're going to fight him, you're just going to have to rush him and just fight.
Yeah, you're going to have to seize the aggression from him. And of course, that's doubly hard to do against the southpaw, because they're coming at you from exactly the opposite angle from what you're used to. Destroys a lot of your reflexes in there.
All right, let him out. Let him up. Let his head out. Okay.
Cauthen is even going to the body now. And every time you miss Cauthen, he makes you pay. Maybe he doesn't hurt you, but he'll slap you hard.
Kind of reminds you a tiny bit of the early Pernell Whitaker. Maybe without quite so much natural ring savvy.
Cauthen seems to be so conditioned, he's not even breathing hard. This could have been a 10-rounder for him.
Not really turning the punches over and committing to the power, though, as you pointed out, George. A lot of times, by the time he's finished throwing a punch, he's already stepping back.
Your trainers they've got to make him believe in his power. He has the power, but for some reason, maybe he's done that before and he's struck out.
Well, in the amateurs, you learn that power doesn't pay off as much as the ability to sort of rat-a-tat-tat.
Especially in an international contest.
Keep touching your opponent. Hard right hand to the body by Cauthen. He doubled up with the right and came across the chin with it. Now he goes back to the body. Shows a lot of good instincts.
Stop punching. Let him out. Come on. Come on. Let's go, man.
Right now, I'd say I can wait about 15 or 20 fights in a couple of years
before you need to see him again.
Before I need to see Cauthen again, and maybe he'll be a lot better then. A real professional then.
So a confident Terrance Cauthen steps past trainer Marvis Frazier and pauses to await the decision of the judges in this his professional debut.
Be that as it may, this is an exciting moment for a young man.
Showed some patience, showed some skills, handled the butterflies, seemed to deal effectively with Victor Miller.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
And ring announcer Michael Buffer will be stepping in there pretty quickly to bring us the official decision in this one, as Miller takes the gloves off. First of 5 bouts on our live TVKO card tonight. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Rainy night outside on the boardwalk. And now Michael Buffer's ready to tell us who won the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of Caesars Atlantic City, we go to the scorecards. Melvina Latham, Barbara Perez, and Joseph Pasquale all scored the bout 40-35 for the winner by unanimous decision, winning his professional debut, the 1996 Olympic bronze medalist from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Terrance "The Heat" Cauthen.
An early Christmas for Cauthen as he wins his professional debut and gets to take home Santa's hat. Let's go back up to Nick Charles.